Top 10 destinations in Afghanistan. Landlocked and languishing at the crossroads of South and Central Asia, Afghanistan has been carved up and altered by countless peoples. Today, the fabric of this vast country in the depths of Asia is a palimpsest of its tumultuous past and awesome location. Cities like Mazar-e-Sharif and Kandahar are filled with filigreed mosques and breathtaking madrasahs. Ancient trading routes cross opium fields. The dusty desert gives way to snow-capped peaks and alpine glaciers. Of course, modern times have not been so kind, and today the war-torn territory of tribes and the Taliban is pretty much out of bounds. Let's explore the best places to visit in Afghanistan. 1. Kandahar. The revered home of the Mosque of the Sacred Cloak and a city steeped in history, Kandahar sits at the crossroads where southern Afghanistan meets the mountains of the country's heartland. Today, the place is filled with mosques, shrines, and mausoleums to luminaries from the national past, and folk come to see the curious inscriptions of the great Mughal invader Babur on the Childina View, located just on the edges of the city. 2. Mazar-e-Sharif. The cobalt domes of the Great Blue Mosque shoulder their way above the skyline of Mazar-e-Sharif, glowing white-hot under the scorching Balkh sun. However, the Muslim history is just one aspect of Mazar-e-Sharif, because this city is also home to countless Greek relics, ones that found their way here with the coming of Alexander's armies in the 3rd century BC. 3. Jalalabad. Founded, like so many other cities in these parts, by the Emperor Akbar, Jalalabad is a place where the passage of ancient time is virtually palpable. Closer to the city and the climate allows for citrus orchards and green parks, something Jalalabad is known for. You can also see the mausoleum of King Aminullah Khan, join the locals for hotly contested cricket game, or just enjoy the manicured parks and gardens. 4. Balkh. Hailed as the epicenter of the Bactrian Empire of old, the aged town of Balkh has a history going back almost 4,000 years. By the time the Venetian adventurer Marco Polo arrived in the 1300s, the town would have been razed, even by Genghis Khan himself, and rebuilt many times, but memories of its great fortification walls and learning institutions would still have been ripe. Today, the town is hardly the noble capital it once was, but there is a certain palpable history to be found amidst the buzzing bazaars and emerald-hued green mosque. 5. Herat. It's easy to see why Herat, the third largest city in Afghanistan, has such a Persian flavor to it. The town sits just a stone's throw from the Iranian border, and it was once the home of the Timurid dynasty, a lineage that fused elements of Turkic, Persian and Mongol culture in their time. The great piece de resistance of the city is the Friday Mosque. This elegant structure of turquoise-tipped minarets and shimmering tiles is sure to wow the senses. It's thought to be more than 8 centuries old. 6. Samangan. While the town of Samangan is an ancient caravan stop on the periphery routes of the old Silk Road, that claim to fame isn't actually its major draw. These are thought to have been built in the 4th and 5th centuries AD, and are adorned with gorgeous Buddhist inlays of lotus leaves, all focusing on an inner mud brick stup. They offer an immersive glimpse into an almost forgotten, pre-Muslim past. 7. Bamiyan. For lovers of culture and religious history, the Bamiyan story is a very sad one. In ancient times, the place was known as a hub for Hindu-Buddhist worship, and it thrived with artisans, monasteries and, especially, sculptors in the ages before the Muslim invasion. In fact, the 2 giant statues of the Buddha that stood here were considered some of the most elegant 4th and 5th century carvings in all of Asia. 8. Faizabad. Backed by the cracked and chiseled passes of the mighty Hindu Kush, Faizabad sits hidden its very own remote enclave of the northern Afghan mountains. The location is what defines the town, giving it that rustic, backwater feel. You'll see galumphing donkeys strutting the streets and beady-eyed, bearded sheep farmers wandering the bazaars. 9. Bandiya Amir National Park. The breathtaking reaches of the Bandiya Amir became home to the first ever national park in Afghanistan back in 2009. Peppered by no fewer than 6 individual mountain lakes, perched more than 3,000 meters up in the rugged peaks of the Hindu Kush, and forged by millennia of fascinating geological movements, the whole area is a wondrous place to behold. 10. Kabul. Kabul has been plunged in chaos since the takeover of the Mujahideen and Al-Qaeda, the Taliban insurgents and other factions after the start of the country's modern wars. Despite the presence of peacekeeping forces, insurgents lurk in the shadows of the city, striking with bombs and attacks every now and then. Kabul was once a cultural hotspot of Zoroastrianism and Buddhism. Today, this rich past can be explored at the Kabul Museum, that is, if you deem it safe to enter.